Leza is obviously not me, and I am not Leza. Are we doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I just can't hear myself or you, but I think I hear it now.
Oh,
I think I hear it now. I think it was just too quiet.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the show. This is Leza Live, or today Leza Not So Live. Jason Zenzaletta in with you on KYCA. I got a full day today, and to be honest, it's been kind of nuts this morning. Trying to take care of a dog who is larger than life and all of this. It can be an interesting thing. Leza is out today. She'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be looking forward to all that. And I'm hearing something. Oh,
That's Drew.
is that Drew? Oh, you're on. Okay, I see. Hi, Drew. How you doing?
Good morning, Jason.
I'm getting used to this, and you're a little bit loud. So
Okay.
can we bring him down?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. It's Monday. What do you think's going to happen here? Come on. Now, shameless plug.
Okay.
Shameless plug. This afternoon at 3 o'clock, we've got the American Renewal. It's a 2-hour edition today, simply because I felt like hijacking the 4 p.m. hour. So be sure to tune in. It's only 6 hours from now, and it's full of scintillating conversation. I got a stack of stuff that you wouldn't believe here, and that's all for the show.
How long have you been doing the show now?
About a month.
About a month.
Oh, my gosh.
And how's it going?
People have not yet demanded my exit, so this is a good thing.
That's a positive in my book. That's a win.
And I've only been burned in effigy twice.
Only twice.
Only twice,
It
which
seems
is
low.
Yeah, it does actually. But in general, we're very happy about how things are turning
Good.
out. Nobody's following me home at night. Nobody's threatening me or anything like that just yet. But I imagine that'll be around the corner. Who knows? I mean, everybody loves me, right?
It gives you something to do at night.
Exactly.
You know, we don't want you getting too bored, Jason.
I know. Me neither. Well, I've got the dog.
The dog is keeping you busy now.
115 pound. Imagine a 115-pound dog looking at you and saying, "Okay, time to play." Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But I must admit, she's doing okay, and things are rolling along. So hello, Drew, and I'm sorry. I'm not used to having two people to look at and staring at me. So I'm sorry.
No problem.
Okay,
I don't mean to scare you.
We'll roll with it
Well,
here.
just pick one of us and just look. Leza usually stares at me like that the whole time, and then every now and then Drew chimes in because he knows everything. So
I'm gonna look at all of you out there because I don't know about these two guys.
that works. It's probably easier.
Okay. Hey, you know what? It's that time of year. And I didn't have my stack of stuff. I'm going to have to bring out some things here. I have my stack of stuff for the Sirius show. I wasn't ready for the pirated version of Leza Live here.
The fun show.
The fun show.
We're a variety show.
Yeah.
You just go off the cuff. That's what we do anyways.
Really?
Yeah.
Most of the time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was thinking about it on the way in. I'm thinking, I got to have some plans here because, she puts on such a great show. I know she thinks hours and hours and hours about this to put it all together.
Every day.
Every day.
When she's sleeping.
Sure. Okay, you guys, you know what? I think you all are in trouble with her when she comes back.
Oh,
so
of course.
just be prepared, all
Well,
right?
it's an all-male show today,
Oh.
which very rarely happens.
If I walked in like at the last minute here, if I'd had time, I would have put pirate music on because, so that we had, you knew that the men had the show today.
Yep. I like it.
So, Leza, next time you call for a substitute, probably shouldn't be me. But we're going to find this. We're going to find out what happens here. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to pull out some of the stuff that what today is real quick because that's what she usually does, and
right?
That gives us but I have a discussion topic real quick, so we'll get there. Today is National Virtual Vacation Day, when either you pretend to go somewhere warm, but really you're just watching a YouTube video about Fiji.
So that's my everyday. I'm
supposed to be in charge here, and I walk around the corner, and there's people on YouTube and all this other stuff, but that's research.
Of course.
Absolutely.
That's research. Okay.
I mean, this is a news station. You got to research stuff on YouTube.
That's right. Well, today is also National Take a Walk in the Park Day.
Oh, nice.
It's a beautiful day for it.
It is. It's a little windy, but
we're supposed to be in the 70s, right?
Yes, 77 today.
Yeah. So, it's not too bad.
No, that's great.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a little breezy, but it's not too bad. Celine Dion is 58 years old today.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I can remember, now that I think about it, and this dates me, I remember being in college and saying, "Woo, who is that?" And then there's the Titanic and that song and all that stuff. Okay, folks, some of you who are baby boomers, you might want to close your ears on this one.
So, Drew?
Okay. Have at it.
Today is Eric Clapton's 81st birthday.
Wow.
81. Well, and still rocking.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was the second concert I ever saw in my life was Eric Clapton.
What century was that? I'm just
It
kidding.
was a while ago.
Kidding.
It was definitely a while ago, that's for sure.
Was he in a band, or was it just him?
It was the Eric Clapton, and it was at the Santa Monica Civic, and he opened with Carlos Santana.
Ooh.
It was the most amazing thing. The first concert I ever went to was Chicago,
Uh-huh.
but that was the second one, and I said, now that's what a concert's supposed to be.
Ooh.
And it was just really a wonderful, wonderful event.
That would have been great.
Yeah, we're talking 70 or 71.
Wow. You didn't have to say the year.
Well, you asked.
I
had to
okay.
think about it.
And even then, Drew was in his 40s.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you'll pay for that one, man.
Yep. Paul Reiser is 70 today. And the man himself, the Hammer, MC Hammer, gets his Social Security today at 65.
Wow.
Oh, now I feel old.
Yeah, now
Right.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, exactly. Okay, real quick before we get to our guest, who's going to be Dr. Stuart Rosebrook from Charlotte Hall Museum. We're thrilled to have him, and I appreciate it. And if you got any calls or questions for Charlotte Hall, 928-541-1016. He's got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's a big year for all of us. Charlotte Hall, the 250th anniversary of the United States. It's also did you know? And I didn't know this. It is the 100th anniversary of Route 66.
Yeah,
Yes.
I did. I've been seeing the promotion and stuff on it. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
I don't see too many commercials. I hear them,
Yeah.
but you better be hearing them too. But I don't see too many. So yeah, I heard about this. Wow, Flagstaff, Kingman, all those places are really going to have a rocking year this year.
Yeah.
What I loved is
Okay.
I missed it last weekend was the Luke Air Force Base air show,
Oh yeah,
and I love to go to that. But I made the conscious decision it's going to be really hot, and I wasn't going to go.
okay.
But the Thunderbirds were in town, and so were the Blue Angels.
Ooh.
So they got both of them, not just Thunderbirds. And they went up to Flagstaff, Seligman, Ashfork, that area, and got special permission. They were flying fairly low, and they posted on their social media. They have the Route 66 stuff as the Thunderbirds and Blue Angels and all that stuff fly by. It's really cool.
Oh wow. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Man, we miss out sometimes here.
You know, sometimes you got to tailor your social media to follow the cool stuff.
But the original social media is right here. It's radio, and that's
True.
where it's at.
True.
Okay. So, real quick, I don't see too many films, and I'm
Well,
talking.
you need to fix that, of course.
I know. I'm a
Look who he's talking to.
right. I know. I'm a busy man. I do busy things. But this past week, I have seen two that
Oh,
I
wow.
actually sat down to watch.
Okay.
All right. We went to the theater. This was a birthday present. I'm not
Nice.
saying which one because it's bad enough as it is. And I'm not anywhere close to Drew. I mean, but still.
Knew that was coming.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? You opened yourself for this one.
I know.
But anyway, I have not been in a theater for probably 3 years. Last film.
Shame.
I know.
Shame, Jason.
Last film I went to see was Spider-Man: No Way Home.
That was a good one.
Because you got to see, the three on screen and all of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
We went to see Project Hail Mary
Okay.
because I love the book. I interviewed Andy Weir years ago. And
Oh, I
so
love Andy Weir. I think he's a fantastic author.
He is. He's a great author, and he hit it big with The Martian, which was a great book. Some people are saying it was a crowd-funded book, but for the most part, it really was Andy. It was his genius. Yeah. And if you don't believe just how good of a writer he is, there is a short story circulating around the web. I think it's called The Egg. And it was him years before The Martian. And people have attributed that story to Asimov. It was so good.
Wow.
And it's actually him. And I've read it a couple of times and mind just blown out of the story. Very short story. So then he comes back with a second book, which was okay. It was not as well received as The Martian. Apparently it's in development right now. And then came Project Hail Mary. I read the book. I was just blown away by it. The movie is as close to the book as you can possibly have a movie be,
Right.
in my opinion. So if you've read the book, the movie is an awesome, book, awesome script that follows the book very closely and just has that same feel.
So I've been a fan of Andy Weir before they started making his books into film, and I read The Martian long before the movie came out.
Oh yeah.
I made the conscious decision not to read Project Hail Mary, and I think I talked about this when I talked about the movie review, but because I loved the book on The Martian so much, and it was so good, then I went and watched the film, and the film was nowhere near as good as the book.
It was a good film.
It was a good film, but the book was so good.
Yes.
And so I made the decision I'm not going to read the book until after I see the film this time.
Yep.
And so now I'm working my way through Project Hail Mary.
It's very close. There's some scenes in the book, obviously, that don't translate over to the film,
Right.
and that's fine.
Right.
Nothing is lost. It's okay. There's a few scenes on Earth that we don't see. There are a few scenes that are going on Earth while he's out in space that we don't see, but that's fine. But that's okay. The main story is Rocky and Grace,
Right.
So that's a great thing.
Yeah.
The other film I actually sat down to see was last night, and I saw most of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but I've seen it about 100 times. And I'm going to blaspheme here just a little bit, but I'll say it. There are two films that are almost exactly the same. The Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston. I wouldn't say exactly the same, but bear with me here. And The Prince of Egypt, which was the animated version about 20 years ago. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Okay. Val Kilmer, and I can't remember who else was in it. We watched The Prince of Egypt last night. And I haven't seen it in a while, but it still holds up, I think, as a fantastic film because it's an animated film that is not necessarily geared to the kids.
Right.
It is. The kids are perfectly fine watching it. But also, I love the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
But I like The Prince of Egypt more.
Really?
Believe it or not. To me, now, there is no film as good as Ben-Hur in terms of a Charlton Heston film. But the Ten Commandments, to me, has always been just a little overacted, a little bit cheesy, to say the least.
I can see that.
It's
Yeah,
a fantastic film.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic film. But Edward G. Robinson said, where's your Moses now? So,
I just have always loved Charlton Heston in that role, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big thing. That makes that film.
he was Moses. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. If there was a Moses would be saying, I wish I was like Charlton Heston more,
Right?
more than myself. But I do love the Prince of Egypt simply because of how they told the story. It was supposed to be more of a children's film. There was supposed to be a talking camel. You see the camel show up at the end just a little bit, acting a little bit goofy. That was supposed to be the talking camel.
Okay.
But they decided to remove it and to take more of a serious tone. And I think it worked fantastically, personally. So that's just me.
Well, as a kid, I mean, my parents sat me down and we watched the Ten Commandments when it was on TV.
Oh, always.
All the time.
Every year.
And I was very young, and there were some scenes that were terrifying, of course.
But that's the way
But that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Right.
And that's okay. And this was when you had the sweeping epics, If you if you had to have 3,000 extras, you had 3,000 extras.
Right.
That's just the way it was.
Now it's all AI.
And okay. And this brings me back to Hail Mary, to Project Hail Mary. What really impressed me was that the character of Rocky, which I'm giving this away just a little bit, which is okay. The character of the character of Rocky is a puppet.
He is. Yep.
It is not CGI.
Yep.
I'm sure there was a tiny bit of help here and there, but 99% of it was puppetry.
Yeah, when I was reading about the making of it and everything, they tried to make the entire film as practical as you possibly could for a space film.
Yep. And if you really want to be wild, and if you love technical stuff and computer stuff, there is a small YouTube video concerning the construction of the bridge of the ship where he is in there, and you see the cylinder, and this is an electrician's nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
It is just covered in wires and components and everything, which can be removed for camera shots, but you have to remember where everything went.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know how long they spent putting it together, but you can see it took a long time.
I don't envy those set designers whatsoever.
Nope. But they did an incredible job.
Oh gosh, yeah. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to go see it, especially in the theaters.
I absolutely agree, and I am actually looking forward to. I don't usually, but I will. I'm looking forward to the Oscars next year. In terms of, I'm hoping they get a slew of technical Oscars for that film because of how they did it. That they went retro and it worked.
I'm down for all the technicals, and also Ryan Gosling.
And Ryan Gosling.
I mean,
yes.
The movie is him. He is the movie. He did excellent.
If he does not get a nomination, that will be, that will be
Politics,
horrible.
Probably.
Politics. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I said it. You didn't.
That's okay.
We all know that's how the Academy Awards work a lot of the times.
I can say politics. It's okay.
Yeah, you can. I'm on the fun show. I'm not supposed to.
Well, this is the fun show. Politics can be fun.
They can be.
Anyway.
Drew turned his mic off, but he's laughing.
I don't blame you. That's okay. You are welcome to. All right, I'll tell you what. We're going to bring Dr. Rosebrook in from Charlotte Hall in just a couple minutes. So folks, stay with us here on KYCA. 928-541-1016. I'll encourage phone calls, but Stuart has a ton to say, and we're going to let him say it, and it's going to be fantastic. So please stay with us on the Not So Leza live show this morning here on KYCA. All right, we're back here on the Not So Leza live show here on KYCA. Yes, it's Leza live. Yes, it's okay. Haven't cut my hair or anything. It is just Jason. It's okay. And I want to thank everybody for being patient today. Leza should be back tomorrow. We're looking forward to that as usual. And are we set for everything there? Good? Okay. All right. Well, we've got Dr. Stuart Rosebrook in from Charlotte Hall Museum. How you doing?
Jason, it's so great to be back.
We love having you in all the time.
This is a fun show. I'm glad to be here this morning.
Well, it's not just that it's fun, but it's a fun time too, because we're heading into tourist season, and it's one of the most important summers that we've had here in a long time.
It's a big year for Prescott, Arizona, with the 250th anniversary of our country. The rodeo's got huge plans, plus the parade, and Charlotte Hall Museum's right there with them. We've got lots of plans for people to come and celebrate America's 250th anniversary, and some big events for people not to miss at the museum. And, of course, the centennial of Route 66. I heard you all talking about that a little bit in the first part of the show. And so people are going to be pouring into Yavapai County to celebrate America and our history and heritage here.
Yeah, I remember, I will tell you, I lived in Flagstaff for about 4.5 years. And, of course, I worked for the chamber up there. So we had the Museum of Northern Arizona, and we had all the other things. And, of course, Route 66. And when I was up there, this is the neatest thing. We had somebody who had come up with the original die presses for the Route 66 signs.
Oh, how about that?
And so they produced a series of signs for each state off
man.
the original presses, and I got my father-in-law one for Christmas that year.
Those are collectible.
Oh, it was fantastic, and I mean real signs.
Yeah.
You had some heft to them and everything. But here, the 66 bypassed us. We've got enough going on here, that's for sure.
Most definitely. And I always like to add that the reason that 66 is important to Prescott is because our very own Grace Sparks fought for Route 89 to make sure that Prescott would be the hub city connected between Route 66 and Route 60. And the U.S. Highways Act was passed, and so we benefited from her strength and determination to make sure we would be connected, which changed the future of Prescott, Arizona, because if it had gone through the Black Canyon Highway, Prescott would not have had the U.S. Highway connecting it to the U.S. highways to Los Angeles and California, 66 and 60.
Wow. Okay. The women in this town are unbelievable, aren't they?
Right? And she and Charlotte Hall, two of them, were a dynamic duo who helped really project Prescott's future and did so much for the county and, in the long run, the nation in their hard work to make Prescott an important city, as well as their preservation of history and culture across the county.
Yep, and there's been so many others too. And everything got kicked off, if I remember, last year with the Daughters of the American Revolution planting the tree down at Charlotte Hall.
That's right. The Liberty Tree was planted almost a year ago. We are greatly benefit from the support of the Daughters of the American Revolution, their George Crook chapter, the statewide DAR, and the national DAR. Do you know that they put in the flagpole at Charlotte Hall Museum in 1929?
Wow.
So we've had nearly a century of relationship with the DAR here in Prescott. So we are so glad to have that. And, we have another big event happening in our gardens at Charlotte Hall Museum on May 2nd, when we are going to be dedicating a statue to Charlotte Hall.
Oh, wow. Okay. How did this come about? We hadn't heard very much about it yet.
Yeah, this is a really important event happening on campus. We have a benefactor who has donated this statue, and it's going to be placed there on May 2nd at a special ceremony, over 7 foot tall, and a remarkable event for the museum and the city and the state.
Oh, we're looking forward to that. I mean, if anybody deserves something of that stature, that's for sure. It would be her.
Most definitely. And, we believe it's maybe the only third statue of a named woman to be placed in the public here in Arizona.
Really?
So
Wow.
it's very important that we celebrate that day.
And, of course, Charlotte Hall being the center of a lot of tourism here in town year-round, simply because whether it's from the gardens or doing research or attending some of the events, which there have been a ton, and they've been wonderful, there's always something going on down there, and we're thrilled that, the closer we're getting to the 4th, so much more is happening. So.
Well, we are really having a lot of programs on campus that are bringing what I say is the 3 generations. We're bringing grandparents, parents, and children out to learn about our culture and our history through living history programs. We have pop-up programs, lots of hands-on, phone-down programs. We've also been developing a series of workshops in our gardens and our grounds and our arboretum, and that's really become a big part of the day-to-day life on campus, lectures and author series, and we just believe we have lots to offer our community, and it's really attracting people almost 7 days a week. We're open, Tuesday through Sunday, and lots of programs for all ages, which we really feel is important to keep the museum vibrant and give people many opportunities to come to the museum.
Yeah, my wife and I chaperoned a couple of times when our kids were in school and did tours and did the schoolhouse and things like that. And then, of course, the big thing for a lot of people is the Governor's Mansion, and I know that's a big thing that's coming up soon. So tell us about that.
Well, the Governor's Mansion, we have received a grant from the state of Arizona that is going to help us conserve and update the preservation of the building. It is in its original place, built in 1864. It has not received major conservation since Governor Babbitt was in office in 1982, 1983. So the Governor's Mansion will be open past the 4th of July, probably 10 to 12 days, somewhere in there. And then we're going to shutter the building, and in August, the construction process will begin, and we should have it open by Frontier Christmas.
Wow.
It'll be probably completed just before Thanksgiving, but ready to shine and be back open. But this is a major event for the state of Arizona, and we're very grateful for all the support we receive from our local congressional LD1 representatives and senators, as well as the governor. And so it's really a project of pride of Arizona's and America's 250 for the state of Arizona.
Well, we're glad to see it happening. I mean, this is something we can't lose, that we can't afford to have damaged or anything like that. And we know it's been well taken care of there, but occasionally there has to be an overhaul. You know?
That's exactly right. You know, when you walk through that building and you realize that every beam, every ponderosa pine log that was hewn and placed in there. And I love the idea that it was called a mansion, because you can walk just a few yards away to Fort Misery and see a small log cabin, which was typical of that era. And that's why when you see, they called it a mansion. And I'm sure there's people from all over the country that come there that have their territorial governor's mansions, or governor's mansions are, marble and granite edifices of earlier years in America. But here in Arizona, we're proud of our modest and humble governor's mansion. And, Abraham Lincoln was our president at the time, so I think it's really reflective of him as well, and his hand in helping create the territory of Arizona.
All right. Well, Dr. Stuart Rosebrook from Charlotte Hall, we are so thrilled to have you in. We got so much to talk about.
Thank you very much.
We got the 4th of July coming up. We've got so much going on this year. There's other things that are happening. And if you've got a question, 928-541-1016. Happy to take your call today on the Not So Leza Live show. Yes, Jason's here, and there's a lot going on today. And you can tune in again at 3 o'clock today for 2 hours of the American Renewal. Shameless plug is done now, so it's time for a break. And we'll be back with Dr. Rosebrook and Leza Live after this. Okay, we're back here on the Not So Leza Live show here on KYCA. Leza's back tomorrow. Jason Zenzaletta in with you today. So I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. It is a fantastic Monday. The weather's been absolutely incredible here, if warm, to say the least, but still beautiful.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce has to love this, because even though we want the rain and the snow, I have noticed more visitors up here through this February-March time period than in years. We've driven downtown sometimes on Friday and Saturday night for dinner, and it's packed. People know that Prescott is a great place to visit. I think our local residents are all downtown, and there just seems to be more and more offered on a regular basis that brings people to our plaza, to Charlotte Hall Museum, to the FIPIN, the Museum of Indigenous People. We really have a great vibrant cultural community here, and theater and the arts, and it's really great to be living here in Prescott and to be able to work at Charlotte Hall Museum.
I'll bet. I mean, it's always been a great place. And now you've been there for a few years now, Stuart. And by the way, this is Dr. Stuart Rosebrook from Charlotte Hall Museum, in case you just tuned in today, and you should have tuned in earlier. But anyway, very quickly, now we were talking about the statue project.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about you've wanted. There was something we wanted to get through.
Our artist Heather Johnson Berry, she's a local artist. She's very renowned for her work, and she's really sensitive to the history of the museum. And what's remarkable in Arizona is that we have a beautiful public art around Prescott and around the state. And in Prescott, it's very rare, and rare across the state, to have a statue put up in the name of someone. And our benefactor, George Fuller, who he sought out Heather's perspective, and her statue, which will be 7 feet 6 inches tall, be in the center of the Rose Garden, is really going to be an art piece for the state. Francine Munns, who was a good friend of hers, her statue was put up in honor of her leading the suffragette movement here in Arizona, is now at the Wesley Ballin Plaza. And there's a beautiful statue of a Hopi woman at the Museum of Northern Arizona. But as you know, Ernest Love statue was put up. Bill Nebaker was the artist, and that is at the Prescott Airport. But if you go around Prescott, you won't find the statues of any named people. We've got the Rough Riders Monument, but so it's a remarkable when a statue like Charlotte Hall will be placed and then dedicated on May 2nd. And I think that it'll be a point of pride for the state of Arizona.
And I'm assuming this is going to be a bronze statue like we've seen in other things around here.
That's exactly right. Similar to what is at the Courthouse Plaza, which, again, it's a rare event when a statue is placed, let alone one of a named person.
It's a fantastic thing, especially in the middle of the Rose Garden. And that is just about where it belongs. It really needs to be there.
Yeah, and dedicated to the territorial women of Yavapai County, it's going to be a welcoming place where people are going to gather, have their photos taken, and remind people that our community was built by women like Charlotte Hall, pioneers, and that all of us who are in the nonprofit business, who are volunteers, docents, who believe in giving back to our community, are walking in her path. And I think that we all find inspiration in Charlotte's dedication to our state and our community.
We see so many times in history of Prescott that it's Charlotte's influence that has done so much for us. Grace Sparks as well. And then when you consider at the very beginning, we're talking about, although there were soldiers and miners, it was the families, it was the ranch families, and it was the men and women of those families who really did so much for this area as well.
Most definitely. I always look back and I realize that when you start looking at the early history, the audaciousness of American pioneers that decided to move west and had to have read somewhere, learned that there was this new town being built in the mountains of central Arizona. Think about the first newspaper man who, drove his wagon here with a printing press to start a newspaper. People saw the opportunity, and I think that as we celebrate our America's 250th, we have time to pause and reflect on the struggles that took place, the hard work, and the hard-working men and women and their families that are still attracted to move to Arizona and to move to Prescott. And I think that that's the one thing I like to remind people of. Charlotte Hall came here as an 11-year-old. Her parents were looking for a new opportunity from Kansas. She rode a horse all the way here from Kansas, much of it on the Santa Fe Trail and the Beals Trail, and they settled out there along Lynx Creek and the Agua Fria River, and it really represents that hard, dedicated, hard-working spirit that I think is reflective still here in our community across Yavapai County.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, when you just remember, when you look at the families and you look at the people who were here, the men punched the cattle and mined, but it was the women who kept everything together.
That's exactly right.
And then to have such amazing people such as Charlotte, Grace, and others who, and Elizabeth Ruffner for that matter, who did so much for this community in the modern times in terms of history and everything else.
Yeah, I really think Charlotte Hall passed in 1943. Elizabeth Ruffner came here not too long after that. You consider that baton was passed.
That's right.
And the baton's being passed to the next generation right now, the men and women dedicated to our community.
All right. Well, we're going to take another break. Sherry is on line one. Sherry, you hang in there. We're going to have your call right after the break. Dr. Stuart Rosebrook, Charlotte Hall Museum is here, and we are going to talk about the 4th of July. We're going to take a phone call or two, and you can call in too, 928-541-1016. We'll be back after this break here on KYCA. We're back here on the Not So Leza Live show. Yes, Leza's live here on KYCA. Jason Zenzaletta sitting in. Let's go ahead and go to line one and Sherry. And Sherry, you're on. We have Dr. Stuart Rosebrook here from Charlotte Hall. How you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for calling in. So you got a question?
Cool. Yeah. Hi, Stuart. It's Sherry McDonald.
Oh, hi, Sherry. How are you?
Oh, I'm surviving it. I'm glad. I'm glad you're doing all these tributes to all these women. I wanted to just find out update on the audio room and if it's going to get dedicated to Derek Brownlee.
Well, that's a very good question. As we work on Suite 2 in our expansion of the Charlotte Hall Museum's Research Center, Sherry and I had talked recently about that, and we are going to be working on our dedication plans as we get closer. And Sherry, I want to make sure that you're invited because this gentleman was very instrumental in the last decade in scanning hundreds of maps and was a very important donor to the museum. And so we will be make sure that his name is remembered.
I wanted to bring it up. Sometimes things get busy and in other directions.
Well, I agree, and we are expanding our research center because we are blessed with so many great donations, and we need to continue to prepare to receive more archives and manuscripts to our research center. Many people think of us as on our grounds, but that research center, from the beginning, was emphasized by Charlotte Hall, and we are going to continue to expand our research library over the next couple of years because we need to make room for the archives and manuscripts and photographs and maps that will be coming to us in the next decade. We are one of the cornerstones of Arizona history here in central and northern Arizona, and we serve that mission every day, and we feel that we need to prepare right now for the future, and that's why this expansion's happened. Our new cartographic and digital.
Sounds like a huge project.
Yes, ma'am, and it's also our oral history center, and so we're going to be also increasing the number of oral history interviews we do here in our community. Again, capturing those memories.
I think you have an audio tape from my grandmother, Irene McDonald.
I think we do, and I had the pleasure to interview her with your father, Bruce. And
yes, he had a mind like a metal trap until she died.
Yes,
she
he did.
remembers everything.
The McDonald families had a long, long legacy in the Yavapai County and Mayer, Arizona. And Sherry, we need to sit down and get your interview and your to extend that family history here in the Prescott and the Mayer history. Great family heritage.
You're aware of what has happened to the Orm School, and I would hope that there would be a section for the Orm family, the original ones who founded it, Uncle Chick and Aunt Minna, and that history, because it was an amazing history, and obviously it's over.
Yes, Sherry, and we did receive, with support from the Orm School Board of Trustees, the Orm School and Orm Summer Camp archives. We are now the official depository for the school and camp archives, and we have worked very closely with Paul and Sean Orm, Paul being the grandchild of Chick and Minna Orm, and the Orm Ranch continues to thrive, and they put almost 3/4 of their ranch in agricultural easement. So that ranch will never be developed and will remain as an important ranch in central Arizona for the next generations.
Yeah, I kind of worried about that because, Orm does have its own water source, and the way the water is becoming a battle in this state. Yeah, it would be prime real estate.
Well, if anyone wants to learn more about your family's history and come into the Charlotte Hall Museum archives, Sherry's father, Bruce McDonald, 40 years was the ranch manager of the Quarter Circle V Bar Ranch and really changed the lives of thousands of students and campers as his role as ranch manager. Sherry, it's great to hear you here on
Okay,
today.
I'll call you up later to get the rest of the update.
You betcha. Thank you so much, Sherry.
And Sherry, thank you
Bye.
Thank you for doing all you've done for Charlotte Hall and preserving history as well. All right, thank you. All right, thanks, Sherry, for calling in. You know what? We completely forgot about Orm, to be honest, to some extent. Some people, when it's gone, it's gone. But it's so important that people have to understand that there has to be a place that some of this stuff goes so that we can preserve it, and that's what Charlotte Hall does.
Most definitely, and we are working with organizations, families, institutions, and ranches. We actually just received some materials from Wickenburg. We have just received the archives of one of a very important dude ranch, guest ranch that operated down there for a very long time, new files on a mining operation. And so we are regularly being contacted by families who have photographs, who have manuscripts, businesses and nonprofits. We serve a very important role for the state of Arizona here in Prescott, and that's one reason our expansion is so important. And the support of our members, the support of our donors, we are very grateful for being able to fulfill that part of our mission.
Have you, in this particular expansion, before we go any further, is this something that will be able to take Charlotte Hall for the next 10 or 20 years? You're running out of room downtown just a little bit.
Well, we are in a strategic plan, and we also have some space that we're looking at that we will probably need to expand into, either on campus or nearby. And it's something that with our Board of Trustees, we're taking a broad look, not just for 3 years, but looking out the next 30 years. I think it's important that we have a good plan to do that. And so I would say that we'll be able to announce some things here in the next year as we continue to look at just expansions, but expanding just step by step. And
right.
I think that's the key also to managing the Charlotte Hall Museum for the state.
Yeah, you don't want to suddenly be in a hurry and have to do something.
That's right.
If you can plan as much as possible, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's right. And we get a lot of people that contact us as they prepare for the rodeo parade and they prepare for historic exhibits, and they come down to our museum and they start to study things so that they can, celebrate our heritage today. And I think that's one of the big things that's fun about our parade is that you see people stepping back in the past to bring it to the present for today's audiences in the parade. I can't wait for the parade.
It's going to be something this year, that's for sure. And I want to talk to you about that because I know Charlotte Hall has a few surprises in store. We're looking forward to them. All right. So we'll get to that right after we get to this here on KYCA. Last break, and then we'll wrap the show up with Dr. Stuart Rosebrook from Charlotte Hall Museum after this. Okay, we're back for our final segment here on KYCA, the Not So Leza Live show here. Jason Zunzaletta with you. Yep, my pretty face this morning, and I'll be on again at 3 o'clock, 3 to 5 this afternoon on KYCA. Dr. Stuart Rosebrook, Charlotte Hall Museum. So much coming up. Let's get to it. Special stuff this year, first for the 4th of July and the surrounding time. So
Right.
what do you want to do?
July 3rd, we are starting a new event at Charlotte Hall Museum called American Heritage Day. It's going to be like Frontier Christmas. It's going to be an annual event every Friday before Parade Day.
Okay.
We are going to read the Declaration of Independence. We're going to have hot dogs, ice cream, cherry pie. It's going to be fun and games for families. We're going to celebrate an old-fashioned family 4th of July at Charlotte Hall Museum. It's going to become a signature event of the city. It's $5 for adults, free for members, and free from children up to the age of 17.
It's going to be nuts down
we
there.
are
It's great.
It's going to be a big event where the red, white, and blue is going to be flying all over the campus, and we want people to know that you want to celebrate America, not just America's 250. Come to Charlotte Hall Museum the Friday before the parade every year, and this is our first American Heritage Day. It's going to be a big day for the museum.
Oh, fantastic. Looking forward to that. And then comes the parade.
Yeah, the parade. The next day, we're going to have Charlotte's car. We're restoring the Ford Model T truck. We are in process of restoring the Bud Brown's bicentennial covered wagon, which has not rolled in the parade probably for 25 or more years. We've also restored the wheels on the farm wagon. So we're going to have a rolling stock, men and women on horseback, probably up to 7 cars, and maybe even a truck with a flatbed truck with some music. We are going big. We want people to know that Charlotte Hall Museum is right in the middle of this 4th of July, celebrating our history and our culture.
Wow. And then, as usual, after the parade, that's when you ask people to come on down.
It's a free day on the 4th of July right after the parade. So
Wow.
The more the merrier. Come on out to Charlotte Hall Museum and celebrate our country.
Oh, it's going to be a fun 2 days over there. And I know that you have some amazing volunteers over there. You couldn't do it without them, and they're going to be taxed this year. That's
well,
for sure.
we love our volunteers, many of them who are part of our Living History reenactors.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be part of the parade, and they're part of every second Saturday, our Living History Saturdays. And, you know, our volunteers and our community come together and celebrate Charlotte Hall at Charlotte Cellar, which this year is going to be May 16th. It's our big annual fundraiser in our Arboretum and Gardens. Come out. The tickets can be purchased. If you buy them before May 31st, there's a discount, $100 a piece. Proceeds go to help the museum. They go up to $125 after.
Wait a minute. Just before March 31st.
March 31st.
You said May.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. Excuse me. March 31st.
Right.
Get your tickets before the end of March 31st, $100 a piece. After that, they go up to $125. All the proceeds benefit the museum. CharlotteHallMuseum.org is where they can go to purchase their tickets for this beautiful wine and food event. Great music, very relaxing evening under the Arboretum in the Gardens at Charlotte Hall on Saturday, May 16th.
We're looking forward to it. It's always a great time. And folks, you heard it here. You've got today and tomorrow, and that's it. And then the prices go up. So get out there and get it done.
That's exactly
okay?
right.
So much going on. And I know you've got great volunteers. You've got a fantastic staff. Charlotte Hall has been a crown jewel of Prescott for so long. And I also know that this is something that you have worked toward for a very long time with your background in Arizona as well.
Well, thank you. It's really, to me, this is for my career to be able to be part of Charlotte Hall Museum, to help lead it, to help inspire more people to be members, to get involved as volunteers, participate in our events. And one of our big goals this year that we're setting for ourselves and for the county over the next few years we have a goal of making sure that every 3rd grader in Yavapai County visits the museum annually. Arizona history curriculum is taught to 3rd graders, and so we're working very hard with our schools and school districts. Right now, all students and their parents and their teachers, when they come for tours, they come to the museum for free on those school tours. So
Wow.
we're working really hard with donors and our school districts to keep that tenet of our museum, to make sure that the next generation learns our history and they can come to the museum.
I'm sure these days it can be a little bit more difficult sometimes simply because you're battling with technology. But then again, you've got the repository of knowledge here. This is our history. This is our state's history here.
That's right.
Unlike almost any other place in the state. I mean, there's a few repositories, a few places that are very important, but this is up there. This is most important, especially for Northern Arizona.
You know, for many years, we're reaching our centennial in 2028. And I know that our sister organization, Arizona Historical Society's Flagstaff branch, is reopening this year, which we welcome. It's been closed for a few years, but we represent one of the most important Arizona State History Museums, a living history center, central and northern Arizona. And recently I welcomed some guests as they were walking across campus. We were talking. I had a couple from Wales and a couple from Gulf Shores, Alabama. So you never know who. How we're going to affect someone's experience in Arizona. And I think that we're also part of that effort all across the state to inspire people to come visit us, learn about our state, stay here, immerse themselves in our history and heritage, and then come back. And that's why isn't that why we're everybody's hometown?
Exactly. That's it. And this will date us just a little bit, but one of the first pictures when my wife and I met in 1991, one of the first pictures we exchanged was a picture of her when she was a very little girl in the middle of the Rose Garden over at Charlotte Hall with her mother. And it looks just as beautiful now as it did then.
Isn't that amazing? Over 180 beautiful roses right there. And I think we're the second largest rose garden in the state of Arizona, behind Mesa. And each one of those roses represents women who were born here before we became a state. And so that Territorial Women's Memorial Rose Garden is a remarkable feature for not only our museum and Prescott, but the county and the state.
That's true. And we understand, you understand once you move here, the importance of the mother county, which is Yavapai County, of course. And you wonder, well, why do we have so many leaders down in Phoenix at the legislature? Why are we seen as a leader? Because we were at the very beginning.
That's exactly right. And, I think that story is well told at the museum. And, our docents, and you were talking about our volunteers, they really are at the backbone of our community. And I think that as I travel the state and I talk to people and I look out there and I see into nonprofit groups, you are at the backbone of what makes this state great. And at Charlotte Hall Museum, we would not be the museum we are without our volunteers. And there's still opportunities this year for people that want to get involved to come out and be a volunteer. Join the museum. Yeah. The entry level is $50 a person. We've got a great program at $100 for four. And, it's a very special place, and it gives me great pleasure to be able to come in here and talk about Charlotte Hall Museum. Very grateful.
And it is a special place to all of us who've been here for a little bit, and most people who have been here for not very long. If you haven't been here for very long, it's right near downtown. You need to go see it.
That's right. So we are grateful for all the businesses and sponsors of the museum annually, and we welcome new members and VIP group tour. So contact the museum, and we'll help you bring your group here to the museum.
There you go. And we're looking forward to everything, especially July 3rd and 4th, Heritage Day, the parade, everything. And Charlotte Hall is going to be front and center. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Jason.
Dr. Stuart Brosbrook. And folks, thank you for joining us here on Leza Live. It's not so Leza Live, but it is. It always is. It's Leza all the time. So we're looking forward to her being back tomorrow. Join us at 3 o'clock American Renewal for 2 hours today. And tomorrow evening at 4 o'clock, I hesitate to do this, but I will. It's the Panel of All Knowledge. Ha! Anyway, we'll all be doing that at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Folks, have a fantastic Monday. We'll see you later.